Wait, on a side note, why is Mike taller than all of us?
That's what he takes a big chair.
Only in the podcast.
Compromised
Only in the podcast.
in real life.
That's why I love doing the podcast.
Wow, Mike.
I actually brought that up last week.
Anto's like 6 foot by the way. So if you guys see me next to this guy, forget it.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the IFTV Serie audio experience. We've got a very special guest, our good friend, Michael LaBelle. How you doing, man?
I appreciate that introduction. What do I owe you for this? I need to supply some goods.
Listen, we're
Why
happy.
are you always sweating, by the way? Every time I'm here, you're always sweating.
hot.
Everybody else
It's
looks
hot.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I got to run around and do all this stuff. I got to set up. Everybody's chilling, drinking Prosecco and stuff. I got to make sure this thing works.
Everyone
You know?
drinking champagne. Marco's running around like a donkey.
I don't know.
I
if that's-
appreciate that. I appreciate the
I don't know if
comment.
that's true because every time I always see Antonio's directing Mike to do things, so you're just sitting still.
I'm doing the direction Mike to do stuff. They argue the entire time,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
else got to get it done. That's kind of how it goes. But anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You're good? All right. Amazing intro right now. Anto, how are you?
All right.
You look happy.
First time you said a one-word answer ever. That's the first time.
Nothing changed for me. I mean, I enjoy watching the game. I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm not okay. I'm okay.
You're all right?
Yeah.
That's good.
I had a good time today.
You had a good time today. Yeah, you were enjoying. We just finished Bayern Barcelona. We had a bunch of friends here. One of them was Argentinian and a big Barcelona fan.
Oh, boy.
So there was a lot of banter going towards him.
A lot of banter. He wanted to scream at everyone, man. You guys should have seen that.
I wasn't here for when y'all watched it live. I came right after.
Yes.
So what were your predictions or what teams were you going for? Because this will play a factor.
Okay,
I feel like.
I didn't really know. I just took a shot in the dark. I said 3-1 to Bayern Munich. And whatever. I didn't know too much about
I
Bayern.
predict Bayern to win the whole thing before this whole thing started.
Yeah, before the Champions
Before they
League
even
was invented,
qualified.
He made.
He also
got
predicted Atalanta's goal the other night.
Don't give him too much
He's on a
credit.
roll
Listen,
right now, man.
Listen, a little
So
bit too much
AC
credit.
Milan, what did you say? What did he say? Top three?
Yeah,
Right? Top three.
three.
He said it'd be a
Below top three would be a
disappointment if it's a
disappointment.
fourth.
Which we don't know. We don't know too much about that. Yeah, I had it wrong. I had Barca. I had Barca 2-1. So I was completely off.
Against Bayern?
Yeah.
You must be smoking something nasty.
You're not supposed to say it on camera.
Nasty.
Come on.
Maybe that's why he's sweating.
Oh, that's
You guys are on to
Now we
it.
got the
You're
real
putting
reason.
all the pieces together. But anyway, Mike, I'm sure so many people know you. I know our community. Anytime we cross over or collaborate, we're always getting all the comments for you and Mike LaBelle, and everybody loved you on the live stream that we had.
Thank you guys.
I just want to add, whenever we talk about Michael LaBelle, they're always like, what cheap beast should I get in FIFA? Tell me real quick, who's the
Yeah.
best player I can
Yeah.
get to fix my team?
Yeah, huge content
So,
creator, especially
yeah.
in the FIFA space, professional for New York Red Bulls, right? So it's awesome to have you here, Antonio. I don't know if you know this about Mike LaBelle. I don't know if
I heard.
you heard.
Yeah.
Professional video games. He's a video game player. He could beat all of us at this table right now.
With one hand, probably.
With one hand. Yeah, I avoid playing him at any chance I get. I told him if we played, I have to pick a team like Body, and then he has to pick a team like Body, and then I could be Juventus or something.
Marco Bertani broke his
And you
arm for
still
like
want
3
that
weeks.
It's
Not true.
possible.
It
I
is-
did. I beat Sam like that recently.
Did you? Yeah,
So it's
that's
possible.
disappointing.
Do we have any friends of yours that we can hustle that don't know, and then we should set them up? A lot of people think they're very good at
Yeah,
FIFA
yeah, yeah.
until they
Ryan,
realize.
Ryan.
We can tell our friends.
We recorded a FIFA. We have a FIFA God tournament amongst our friends.
Where's
I
the
know about
trophy?
this tournament.
Yeah, we told you about this
I'm a
tournament.
two-time
the trophy.
world
Get
winner.
the trophy's over there. Get the trophy. Get the trophy. And this guy that always wins, he pisses us off. I don't know if he knows about Mike
Ryan
LaBelle.
wins all the time?
Ryan keeps winning, and we haven't been able to really beat him. So we should bring you as like, oh, he barely plays. He plays sometimes, and just have this is the FIFA God
And you
trophy.
just put him,
Lovely.
put him to bed. Look, it's scratched in there too, Mike. This is official
Wow,
stuff.
it does. I don't know if you can zoom
We
in
use a-
on this post.
Yeah.
We used a toothpick for that, Mike. That was very hard
That's
work.
a really strong
You could tell.
toothpick.
Now I made Mike like his nail, and he just went at it, and
It grew for a couple of weeks.
it came.
Jeez.
It came.
I
pretty
won
well.
it 2 times as a trophy, so I'm very proud. The first Greek to win it 2 times.
Yeah, but who did you
You're the
verse?
only Greek in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Greek.
You're the
Thank you.
first Greek to play in the
I
tournament.
didn't
The
say
first Greek to win the
anything.
tournament. The first Greek to lose the tournament.
I like this guy. Anyway, we're having a lot of fun.
You just wait, Pete. It's coming for you soon.
No, I suck at FIFA. You know what I did?
I'm
to
not
these
talking about
guys?
FIFA. I'm looking for what I can get in. I don't know yet. I got an opportunity yet.
No problem.
I'm waiting. He's got like a nice beard. Like it's tough to go in on that.
Tell him the
with
story
this
about
whole
what you did.
quarantine going on, my FIFA skills have been diminishing since the past 5 years or so.
Did you have any
Even
FIFA
more.
skills?
Well, I mean, just a little. Because I used to verse my younger brother. He sucked, so I was always better than him. But
Not anymore.
Now the
not
rules have
anymore.
changed.
But anyway, we had the quarantine, so we haven't really. I was like, oh yeah, I've been playing FIFA a lot, all day, every day. You know, I'm gotten a lot better. Oh yeah, and they started doing that Twitch, right? You guys used to play FIFA, so I was like, all right, I gotta get them. I got my brother to play, and then I was just like on the mic or whatever, just making believe I was.
Oh,
playing.
online. So
Yeah,
you
online.
didn't have
So
a
you
visual.
can't see
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
So first versus
we were live.
Yeah, then we were versus Mike. Then I told my brother, like, take it easy. My brother's actually pretty
He
good.
was
I don't know
smacking-
how good he is.
smacked
but
Mike. It was like
Yeah.
3-0,
He's pretty good.
4-0.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And we always smack Peter like 6-0.
I was trying to yank the Wi-Fi router out. I was like, yo.
And
the
we were on
connection
live
is
stream,
not-
like, he was
you
getting
guys were
frustrated.
really salty because that means you have people watching.
No,
as
so
well.
so it was
yeah.
Mike at
It's
first.
not just at home. You know where you're losing.
So
Nah.
it was Mike at first, and I was like, "There's no way this is possible." He's like, play Marco. We start. The guy scores right. I said right now. I was like, I'm not playing. I know that this is your brother, like 100%. He's like, no, I'll play a little
No,
bit.
it's me,
And
it's
this
me.
guy in the end is telling his brother, calm down. But then he ended up telling us they were laughing too much on the other
Oh.
side.
Typical
dying.
Inter. Typical. They cheat on everything. Cheating on the bar, cheating on the video game, cheating everywhere.
That's it.
Have you ever seen the videos they've done with pro FIFA players and then some of the pro actual players where they have the two pro players, so like Liverpool's players will go up against each other, and they have the pro FIFA player behind like in
like
another
with the-
wall, like, but they have the
Make it seem-
they got the screen like duplicated so they can play it from back there, and it's hilarious because like how do you know how to do these skill moves?
man.
All these things are different about the gameplay, but it's in person.
That's
So like
hilarious.
how can you assume that somebody else is playing? You just
That's
and
hilarious.
it's, like, it's
good.
funny. They like execute it, and as it gets like later in the stage, as the joke's going, at one point they just like put the controller down, and they're still scoring goals. You know, so it's like, oh, you know, sometimes the game plays itself. It's just, I don't know.
It's like when Ronaldo dressed up as like that.
Oh yeah,
old
yeah,
person,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden starts tricking out.
Yeah, I saw that.
You
I
can
saw
maybe
that.
do that.
When
you
he
should
went
dress
to
up like
disguise.
Antonio. Make it seem like you never even used a PlayStation.
And bring
before,
him to the tournament.
and then
This would be a
freaking
good
just-
video, actually.
Ooh.
If I could add some age too, if you're like the old guy that whooped up on everybody.
Exactly.
No shots fired, Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't want the smoke.
Listen, don't try me because if I get myself a little bit with a little BS that you guys have over there,
A little bit.
I will beat the living crap out of everybody.
Antonio, you gotta first learn how to turn it on. before you
It's funny, right?
He's been doing that a lot lately.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Funny like a clown over there.
Part
Feels like a
comedian.
clown.
Funny how?
That's a challenge, okay? From now on.
When you
I'm
turn it
gonna go
on,
home.
then-
Listen, if you play against Peter, you might actually have a shot.
Yeah, you may
I'm not
win.
gonna
You might
lie.
win.
Anyway,
Maybe Mike is going to give me a few lessons and then we'll see.
okay, that could be you teaching
Training
Antonio.
to beat Pete, I would like.
would
I
do
like it.
I would
This is
do
like
it.
a
I like
derby
this.
matchup
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gonna
Yes.
hold
It's
the
like a
controller
Rocky
backwards.
story.
Yes, I like
Controller's
it.
gonna
I
be
like it.
upside
You're
down.
down?
We'll do AC Milan against Inter. Milan.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Done. All right, we're good. Anyway, we're having a lot of fun, but we do have to talk about the reason why we had to record this podcast, of course. Atalanta against PSG. Heartbreaker, thriller. What a match. Boys, I don't know where to begin, honestly, with this one.
That was tough.
I have a lot of things to say, but we'll start with Antonio. Antonio, how did you feel about the match?
Listen, it was a game that it was supposed to be won by Atalanta, but you know, I tip my hat to the entire team. They did a spectacular job, and you know, the last 5-10 minutes, Gasparini could have just played a little bit more conservative and just pull the team back. But nevertheless, that's his style of playing, and he went up. You know, he got caught, and you know, the right defender, he got cheated 2 times, and he needed the help on that side. He needed really help against Mbappe and Neymar coming, both of them from the same side. So it was not a good ending, believe me, because Atalanta didn't deserve to go out that way. I'm sure if they were in overtime, maybe, and on the penalty kick,
They
to
were
take a
dying.
chance. Yeah, Atalanta
They were dying
it
at
was
that.
out of gas. That's the only reasons why they lost. But if they stayed concentrated the last 5-10 minutes, they could have just pulled it through. Not that they
Mike,
had a
what'd you
chance
think?
to go through.
Yeah, I
to go
mean,
through.
we for most of you guys know, we did do a live stream for that, so we showed a lot of anger, and we were much more raw on that. I didn't even want to talk after the game. A lot of you guys, you know, we're all heartbroken. It was hard to stomach.
I went off social media after. I could not like look at everything that was
Dude,
happening. I was just like,
It was just so like there was so much faith. You know, they were playing good in the first half. They got a goal. Then the second half, I just felt like it was a tale of two halves, man. Gasperini. The thing that I'm proud of Atalanta is they really went out to play their game, but they were exhausted from the second half. I feel like they pressed too much. Gasperini did the subs he always does. He brings in Malinovsky. He brings in Muriel. So it's not like he changed for PSG, for the opponent. But he probably could have tweaked it a little bit different because this is the Champions League. This is against PSG. This is to go to the semifinals. So maybe he could have changed his approach at the end. But defensively, they were getting tormented, especially down their right side. It was Mbappe passing by everyone. They kept getting yellow cards because they couldn't keep up with him. They tried holding him, but it looked like the goal was coming. And PSG were missing chances. So we were like thinking, okay, this is Atalanta's game. This is Atalanta's game. They're missing their chances. Atalanta could do it. It's a 90th minute, only extra time left. Then the first blow, they concede from left side. Then the second blow, a few minutes later, again from the same side. It was just like a stab in the heart.
What pisses me off is like, an organization like that. You play in the Champions League. You're the first time on the quarterfinal. One of the players, Ilicic, that was supposed to be is one of the best players. Yeah. I mean, he had a family problem or something like that. I would just insist that it really takes care of his job. I mean, you are getting paid to do what you're supposed to do. Then, but what? And then
I'm sure they tried their best to get him.
Gasperini, he handled it. I think he handled it well. He explained that it was personal stuff that couldn't be avoided. And there's probably a lot that like we don't understand from like the outside. For sure. So it's just I understand like our perspective because I did the same thing. Yeah, right after the game, I was like, if Ilicic was there, what would have happened? It could have been different. But LaBelle, you were a little bit. I know you were going for Atalanta, but you were a little bit of the outsider. You're a lot less biased than we are in terms for the Italian team. But what'd you think about the game?
They got outlasted, but I was surprised because in the first half they had so much energy. They were electric. They played the risk to reward style that they're known for, and they've made a lot of new fans I think this year as well. Mm-hmm. With Atalanta, a lot of people want to watch them play.
Absolutely.
Good point.
They started running out of juice, and I was disappointed that they didn't just sit deep. We talked about it. We all watched this live together, and you could tell that your press was no longer going to be a dangerous press. It was one of those
sloppy.
Yeah, there was so much space, and then when you're going up against two of the best or arguably the best one-on-one players, and Mbappe was extra fresh. We didn't see Mbappe till maybe the 55th or the 60th minute.
It was a train.
60 minutes.
That's extra fresh. You should be sitting as deep as possible. Nobody wins that one-on-one matchup. I don't care if you have one of the fastest fullbacks in the world, one of the best center backs, even Virgil van Dijk, who I think most of us would probably argue top 1-2 center backs in the world in that standard somewhere. Everybody would say he's world class. Yeah. As good as he is one-on-one, I still don't want to see him versus Mbappe with no help because when the midfielders push forward, they didn't track back quickly because they were tired. So it was a lot of 50-50s in behind, and it was just a matter of time. I think what makes me most sad about the match is I was already thinking about watching extra time. I thought they were going to get a chance to regroup, and then we were going to see extra time, and then we'd go from there. But to get 2 goals late, it was only 5 minutes added because we were counting as the game was going. We're saying this has to be like 8, 9, 10 minutes of added time. This one's not over. And to have only 5 minutes and then they get the second goal, Atalanta only had the one break with Muriel towards the end, and that was it.
But they had a chance to score the 2-0 when they were on the left foot shot that went slightly off. But this guy to finish up with Ilicic, he could have just channeled all of his anger about his family situation into a game like that, which was that important. And then after the game, you just go back home, take care of business, and just wait for to the next situation to address. But a player of that caliber,
he would have made a difference.
Well, he's been in form as well.
He would have been one of top 2 players for that team.
I would have forced him into the team. I said, "Hey,
Peter, what'd you think?"
No, I mean, listen, Atalanta, it seemed like one of those games where everything was going Atalanta's way, right? We see Neymar miss that one-on-one. You see another shot go wide. This shot, PSG was playing. Atalanta, the first half, played a lot better game than the second half. They were pressing. We saw a Gasperini style, Atalanta style, where you were saying how they pressed high. They were literally taking each player 1v1. And what happens is in the second half, they kind of died out. I don't know exactly why, because we're not, as Serie A fans, we know what Atalanta is all about, and it's weird to see them just crumble like that physically.
Exactly.
But that being said, maybe a little bit of the nerves, a little bit of PSG getting fresh legs in. Mbappe changed the game.
Yeah,
Mbappe changed the
100%.
game.
Two situations,
There was
two chances.
yeah,
They just
but
changed.
besides that, there was no way you can contain Neymar. You can't contain Neymar and Mbappe. And unfortunately, I got to put a little bit of the blame on Gasperini for this game in particular because it's kind of like a level of arrogance, maybe you can say, or just being too sure of we only play this way and we're gonna keep on playing
Too
this way.
blind to see something
And
different.
maybe you could have sat back just a little bit, especially when it's the last 10 minutes.
But then
in
if
the
he
game.
does that, if he
Yeah.
does that and he
Sit back.
loses,
Exactly.
we'd all be here being like,
Why
"Wow,
didn't he
look at
play
him! He
his regular
changed in the
football?
Champions
Yeah,
League."
You're
like-
damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're a
No.
manager, you're always gonna have that. If it
Yeah,
works,
of course.
you probably don't get the credit. It's gonna go to the player.
I say you
if
die
it
on your
doesn't work,
laurels.
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, then it's
And
your fault.
90% of the
Yeah,
time,
but-
Gasperini gets it right. So
but
there's the other
the-
10%.
And I want the details on the Ilicic situation because do we
Well,
have details?
we
Do
don't-
leak-
we-
It's not best if
we
we
don't
don't
have
say
anything
it. We don't
confirmed.
wanna-
Yeah,
There's
that's
nothing
fine.
confirmed,
Well,
bro.
this is my thing though. Like Cristiano would never miss the game, no matter what happened, and it's because he has that competitive spirit. He's not missing the game.
It's a gray area because the rumors are pretty bad. They're pretty serious and it's family stuff. And like at least for us, we didn't post anything about it because we wanted to respect it. It's like whatever. Some newspaper said that he caught his wife cheating on him and he could not contain the situation and he had to stay there and they had to figure it out.
we're
But
not
if that's the
Where-
situation, I'm gonna show you what's up. You gonna cheat on me? Well, I'm gonna perform over here. You know who's gonna be sliding over here? You want to talk to me right now?
But those
I'm
are
gonna go
just-
put on for the boys.
Antonio likes that.
Those are just
Right, but I'm
rumors,
just saying
bro.
that's what I didn't know that was the situation.
No, well, sorry, we're not saying that's the situation.
Yeah,
We're saying
we
that's
just-
what the
those
newspapers
are
were
rumors,
saying.
nothing confirmed.
Well, I'm saying if that's the
If it was the
situation,
situation.
go play the Champions
Yeah.
League. Get this
Yeah.
W.
We don't
PSG. You get yourself a little more bankroll as well. Women, hey, women like you got access.
Plenty.
All
There's
we
plenty
know,
out
all we
there.
know is that they said that he was suffering from probably depression and some psychological issues that he could not go. And listen, for whatever, we respect it. Yeah, we don't want to post things that we don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
we're not
so
sure.
just to say what happened, but it would have been amazing to have seen him play as well.
How many chances is Atalanta going
That's
to get to
true.
go up against
Exactly.
PSG?
Nah.
And this is without, I don't know any details, so please
Yeah,
let me
exactly,
be the
exactly.
ignorant guy at the table
Yeah.
of not knowing anything on the background of this,
Yeah.
other than I knew he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
But this is one of those, you're not guaranteed to get back into the Champions League if you're Atalanta. You're not guaranteed to be able to make a run. You could say, well, a lot of these players are going to stay, or they have potential still, or they have a really good fluid moment, or the manager, or whatever. But
And he was amazing this year.
This
he was
guy is
amazing.
He's also
capable
not
of the
young.
1-2 punch that he'll knock you out just out of your game and out of your.
Also, when you
he's
see them
much more
dying,
creative, too.
Yeah.
Like,
excellent player.
Zapata
None even
doesn't
about that.
have the creativity.
No,
No,
he
no.
doesn't hold
He's
up
more
play.
of a traditional
Exactly.
back to goal striker,
Yeah, yeah.
turning
It's
goal.
very difficult to guess this guy here. You're never going to be able to guess what he's going to do. With the ball on his feet, he's always going to pass. No, he's moving around. It's just you will not
Yeah,
guess.
it's an
And
added
he's a big
element. in
body.
it.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
amazing.
And
Like,
another
it's really
thing-
odd that'd be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to bring in like the
It will
Ibra
burn me
comparison.
on the
but he's a big
one-on-one.
body.
He can use
yeah.
it, but
Very
the other
talented.
thing we didn't talk about is once Papu Gomez got off injured,
No, it
that's
was
when
done.
we.
The game was done for Atalanta.
He's one of the leaders, and Ilicic too. He's another leader
He
of the
takes
team
over the game.
that knows how
100%.
to control the game with passes like Papu Gomez. So someone like him could have really helped. He could have been screaming, "Everyone, stay in order," done something. But as we seen, Papu Gomez once he came off.
Yeah.
Sloppy. That's when they really took a lot of pressure in the
He's also
defense.
a sort of outlet for a lot of these midfielders. 'Cause let's say Atalanta's midfield is not one of the most technical midfield. They're the ones that
They're grunt
run
dirty
and they're
work.
The tempo,
up and
the
down.
tempo, the
So
gas
you're
screw
able to
developing.
find Papu. Papu gets into these spaces and he has that little sense of creativity
Flair.
to
That's
make
exactly what he
something
was doing.
happen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he had to leave. Listen, it's part of the game. And listen, PSG, the players that they brought on, when you have the luxury of having Mbappe, Draxler,
bench.
these guys coming off the bench.
Ridiculous.
They're better than the starters.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
they would
saying,
have been
yeah.
starters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is I think Atalanta have zero to be disappointed about. Their heads are as high as they could be.
for sure.
The first half was the real Atalanta. That's Atalanta that we knew, that we love, even without some of their starters. Also, credit to Sportiello. I want to say he did a fantastic job coming in goal. Didn't even
over
forget that
Golini.
Golini was
That's
was
right.
out there. Great job by Sportiello. But in the second half, it's as simple as they ran out of gas. That is exactly what happened. I don't think that the approach changed. I don't think that any of that happened. I think that with the adrenaline of playing in this very important game, when the first half ended, that's when we stopped seeing Atalanta. The team that came out in the second half had tired legs. They were not running. They were not making the same movements that we saw. And I think a lot of it has to do with the adrenaline. Gasperini plays a very demanding system. His center backs go up and attack a few times. They're running a lot. When you have that, along with the added pressure of playing PSG. Oh my God, guys, we're 1-0 up. You have this concentration. You go into the second half, and when you come back, you just don't have it in your legs. That comes with experience. That comes with playing these kinds of games, which is what Atalanta doesn't have. And that's the thing that bothers me about what I've seen online, because like I said, I stopped watching. I was like, I'm not going to check anything. The next morning, I check, and people are making it seem like PSG made a comeback, that they were 3-0 down, and they came back and won the game against prime Barcelona. No. The perspective of this match is PSG were playing Atalanta, a team that shouldn't have been there, according to all the stats.
Neymar makes the whole squad salary.
Neymar makes 36 million. The entire Atalanta team makes 36 million. The transfer fee of Mbappe and Neymar put together is the same amount that Atalanta have spent in the past 20 years on their entire squad. So perspective is needed. Credit to PSG. They did a very good job keeping their heads in the match until the 90th minute. I give them credit. But let's be realistic. Even if PSG came out and won this game 3-0, Atalanta would have nothing to be disrespected about. Getting to this point was their win. Yeah. And I'm not saying this to put some kind of loser mentality, but you have to be realistic at a point. Atalanta, they were playing a team that spends a tenth of the money of them. They have zero to be disrespected about. It sucks how they lost. I agree. It's disappointing. But let's stop making this like PSG some incredible comeback.
No, but then let's be realistic then. If PSG loses this game, players are going to get moved. Yeah. Staff fired. Yeah. This is going to be a clear out. 100%. Let's call it how it is because they were supposed to. Gone. If you asked anybody, PSG's winning this game. 100%. Talent, top to bottom. If 100%. You really look at matchup to matchup, they're better everywhere. Exactly. Even before the super subs of dreams with the Draxlers and the Mbappe.
Exactly.
And the value of all of those players that were supposed to be kicked out, that will be just a plunge too.
But that's also what bothered me. I see people, Tuchel, he did a great job subbing in. There's no great job. Seriously. You threw Mbappe in.
I could have made that substitution.
Do you have to be a genius to put one of the best players in the world in?
We all could have made that substitution.
The game changed when Mbappe came in. Neymar played a great match. He didn't finish his chances. Navas played a great match, and Mbappe. Those are the three guys. As a team, Atalanta played better football than PSG did. They had better individual qualities that helped change the match for them. It's not this genius of Tuchel that put in Mbappe and he ran down the left side. Yes, Atalanta should have been smarter. They should never put Mbappe on a one-on-one. But when I see some of these, I see comparisons to Liverpool's epic comeback against AC Milan. Barcelona.
That's like a disrespect to Liverpool.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible what I saw. Let's just have perspective on what this match really was. Yeah. Atalanta, all my respect in my book, for this Italian team in the Champions League this season.
If anybody tried to predict the year as well, I wasn't there for any of your predictions, but I'm assuming that none of y'all took Atalanta to go the farthest in the Champions League.
You're correct.
No, you did not.
Not all the way.
He's going to say he had a prediction for everything.
I could go to. I will say I will not be surprised if they go to the semi.
But he says I would not be surprised for every scenario.
When did you say that?
I did. I said
check the clips. Check the clips.
You also said Inter was going to win the triplete.
And he said Ronaldo wasn't scoring goals.
The trouble. He said Inter were going to win the trouble.
With the triplete under the table.
So that's just some of the things that had me a little bit frustrating. Also, Icardi, your boy Icardi that you predicted was going to do this. Horrible. He was invisible. Yeah. Completely invisible. What happened to your boy?
Well, listen, Icardi.
Let's see if you get out of this one.
Slithers way out of this one.
Icardi, he's been plugged into a team right now that is on a shamble. Okay?
Where?
Shamble.
Do not make this excuse for Icardi.
What shamble?
He was nowhere to be seen.
Atalanta overmatched them on the first half.
Okay.
On the second half, they did. Icardi came out for. Who came in for Icardi? Drexel. Who came in?
Draxler?
I don't remember, but I think it was Draxler.
So they had to make changes. Those guys, the bench of PSG.
Because Icardi wasn't playing good.
Well, he wasn't playing. He was not fed. I didn't see a lot of ball going to him. How many balls did they feed him?
You're losing, and you take out your best striker, your number 9 striker. Something wasn't right.
So Inter did a good
Peter's
job.
Loving this one. Peter's loving this one.
I'm not going to talk to him because it's a waste of time. So
anyway, to conclude on Atalanta,
the bottom line is that PSG, if Gasperini will have just put an extra guy, not just going one-on-one with Mbappe, or just a little help over there on the right hand side, I would not have seen a PSG moving forward.
It's also worth mentioning, PSG in the first half was very different than PSG in the second half. And Atalanta was different between two halves. If you got second half Atalanta, Icardi would get opportunities. He didn't get any opportunities in the first half. We can watch this back. I think they only had the one shot with Neymar.
Yeah.
That he put wide. That was it.
Don't give him leeway.
No, but that's just what happened.
I don't like this connection of you two agreeing on this stuff.
Icardi's a great finisher. He didn't get a chance to finish.
They were overmatched. They were overplayed and overmatched.
I tell you
leave
every
it.
time.
You want to pause it? Yeah. Anyway, for Atalanta, one of the question marks for Atalanta is what happens next for them. Obviously, getting to the Champions League 2 years in a row is an incredible success. Finishing this high, some people say, can they challenge for a Scudetto next year? Where do they go from here? Do they keep their best players? Because we know guys like Gosens, Hateboer, Zapata, are all wanted by some of Europe's best teams. And their owner came out and said, listen, we want to keep all of our players, but if we get an offer that's incredible, we probably can't refuse it. Where do you guys think is Atalanta able to keep up this level of getting to the Champions League, getting to those next rounds, or is this the highest that they could go? What do you think, LaBelle?
I don't think they're going to improve from this season. That's probably a very unpopular opinion. But I think they could replicate what they've showcased this year. I think they could have something similar. I think there'll still be a top 6 Serie A squad. But I don't think that they're going to be... I don't think they're rivaling to win the league.
I slightly agree and disagree with Mike on the fact that Atalanta's got a spectacular youth organization.
I think I saw a stat that Atalanta put in the most Serie A players from their youth team than any other Italian team.
They are capable to replace spectacular players at every position immediately. And the coaching staff, I think that's what's making Atalanta, how can that possibly be? They keep selling players. I can give you the list. We have 3 or 4 that I play in AC Milan. Bonaventura came from Atalanta. Kessié came from Atalanta. Conte came from Atalanta. The other guy, Caldara, went from Juventus to Atalanta to Juventus. Gagliardini.
A lot of their best players have been picked up over the years, and they always find somebody.
Players after player, and Atalanta
That's
is still
a good
on
point.
the top 5 or 6 teams. So,
That's a good point.
So they have it's like the Barcelona is the Barcelona of Italy.
I think now La Masia is not as good, but I understand
sure.
your...
You understand what I'm trying to say?
It
I
would
understand
be
what you
easier
mean.
to answer this if I knew who they were keeping and who was going.
Yes, exactly.
Because I feel like it's you still have to have a certain amount of class, especially
Exactly.
with
For
scoring
sure,
goals.
for
sure.
If you lose some of the guys that have the intricate details,
Exactly.
the 1-2s, some of that creativity, that fluidity that's necessary when you go forward, if you lose some of those key instruments to painting that picture or singing the orchestra, you're not going to necessarily be able to replace them with the next young up and coming talent.
That's true.
For
Like,
sure.
especially their attack,
but-
the Ilicic, Pablo Gomez, and Zapata, I think they're more crucial. The defense can all be replaced. It's no
Yeah.
problem. Even the
And
midfield,
their defense is not great anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Their goalkeeper, they have a great goalkeeper, and their midfield, they are able to plop in
They're
and out
replaceable
certain
for
players.
sure.
To me, it's that attack. Pablo Gomez and Ilicic and Zapata, they're all
They're the
three special
foundation
guys.
too. Plus, their bench is very good also.
Remember, Atalanta, when you look at an organization from top to bottom, they're top. I mean, you have Percassi, who are the owners of Atalanta, and they're great business people within Italy. Kiko, you know what is
The
it?
coffee?
No, Kiko
the
is
baby-
the makeup company. They've grown that to to
How do you know
international
about
level.
the makeup?
Well, I don't know.
He knows a
I
lot
know
of the
it's good
backside.
business.
He knows a lot of
He has
I know
backside.
it's
makeup
good
on right
business.
now. If you guys see him start wiping his face.
Yeah, this is Peter after 9
Sorry.
o'clock in the evening.
Easy.
Okay.
But
It's
I
an
didn't get your
thing,
wig.
right?
Yeah, it's DNA.
But from there, you have Sartori, who's one of the top sporting directors. He's brought Chievo from Serie C to Serie A, kept Chievo in Serie A for like 10 years, brought them to Europa League. Has a similar fate with Atalanta, where took this team from, let's say, mid-table to now play in Champions League for the past 2 years. So they have full faith in Gasperini. As long as Gasperini doesn't go anywhere, they already have a makeup of what type of player they want. You know, the wingers have to be of a certain height, certain physical attribute, and not necessarily a great technical player, but as long as you can run nonstop, you can fit into the Atalanta system.
These are good points.
You have a lot of, like you said, the youth teams. Atalanta, they won
producing.
the Primavera, the under-19s, won the past 5, I think.
Scudetti, right?
Scudetti for the
The
U19 level.
championships.
Top talent coming
Yeah,
out
the youth
from
team is
Atalanta.
pretty crazy.
So if they're smart and also what's great about it, as he said, they sell. They don't sell just to sell. They don't need money, in the sense that Gagliardini didn't go for less than 28 million. Kessié didn't go for less than 30 million. So all these guys that they have, let's say that everybody wants.
They have a set price.
It's
for
not
them.
like, oh, 15 million, wait till August 31st. All right, let's just sell. No, they're like, okay, we don't reach this price, we're not going to sell you. So they have a
Very
very
organized.
stable and
They're very
top
good points.
organization.
The only thing, again, we're talking at Champions League. I think the level is
Oh, well,
obviously
listen,
very
at
high.
Champions
They
League,
have to
maybe not
raise
so
that.
much.
In Serie A, I think the goal is
Yeah.
to keep that top 4 level where they could keep racking in this
Well, hold on.
30, 40,
Quickfire.
50 million.
They go top 4 for you next year.
We
Yes or
gotta
no?
we gotta see the Mercato. It's too soon.
No,
okay.
they can
Put me
replace
on
the
the whole
spot, so
team.
you gotta get in
Top
the spot
five.
too.
I'll
That's
say,
a tough one.
you know what?
Top five.
I did not put them
I
last
said top
year.
6, so where do you have them?
Last year, I did not put Atalanta in the top 4. I thought that they were going to sell their players and go down. I was wrong. I'll say that they will finish top 4.
Top 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I have them actually not dismantling their squad because they did last season. They didn't dismantle the squad and they made Champions League and they did it again. And let's see now. The big question is, are they going to dismantle the squad? I think they're going to keep the project going and want to become one of the top teams in Italy.
Hope so.
So I think they're going to keep their players and try to strengthen it because I feel like they have a very
They need
proud
defenders.
system behind
Need
them
defenders.
and a very good team and a very good project. And they're having a lot of spotlight and getting a better fan base. So I think they're going to stay in top 4 next season too.
You know who
They
they
just
should have
buying
gotten?
themselves time.
Yeah.
Wait, on a side note, why is Mike taller than all of us?
That's what he thinks
'Cause
a big
he's-
chair.
Only in the podcast.
Compromised
bro. Only in the
in
podcast.
real life.
That's why I love doing the podcast.
Wow, Mike.
I actually brought that up last week.
I was like 6 foot by the way. If you guys see me next to this guy, forget it.
We're all riding in like little Kias, you know, and then he's got like a
Hummer.
Mike, humble yourself.
I have like
Mike.
I got 4 like cushions
You
on
got
me right
textbooks
now.
underneath him. But one, you know who they could have gone? The guy that's going to Inter now, Kumbula, the center back from Verona. That would have been a great signing.
had a beast
Cheap,
season.
cheap, 25 million.
Not cheap though. Good price.
Okay. In this market, 25
where?
million
Verona?
from
Yeah.
Verona.
Yeah.
Lazio and
Kumbula.
Inter wanted him. That would have been a beautiful signing for Atalanta.
Well, I think I see Atalanta selling 2-3 players, but they're gonna make investments. So I see them staying in the
Okay.
top 4.
they're linked to Boga right now.
Let me tell you something. Atalanta, first of all, they're getting a new stadium. The revenues is going to just help them eventually, budget a little better for even buying outside of the youths that they have. And Gasperini is very capable to take a mediocre player like Zapata. Zapata was not doing anything in Naples, and now Zapata is one of the top scorers that we have in Serie A. So Gasperini took Zapata, he plugged him into the team, and he said, "This is what I want you to do." And at the same time, he leaves them the freedom because Gasperini is not freak like Conte that he wants micromanage.
That word was freak.
Every little move. 2 step back, 1 step forward, sideways, this. It's always talking. Gasperini, he stays on the sideline, he just watches and all the stuff, rarely talks, and he's capable to plug that player on the right spot and says, "This is what I need you to do."
Maybe we should have done that in Champions
Ended the
League.
story. So Gasperini, I think, is one of the main reasons. I think it's 60% of the reasons why Atalanta is still one of the top 4 or 5 teams. in
Pretty
Italy.
low percentage, too. By the
Where
way,
do you have him? Because he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
top 3.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
would put it top 5.
Okay.
Top 5.
Well, because I
Out
gotta
of
think like, you got
Champions
AC Milan top
League.
4.
Yeah, you did, Paul.
Out of
You
Champions
fall.
League.
Do you understand why we keep saying Utes? Do you know where that's from?
Utes?
Yeah.
Instead of youths, instead of youths,
Like instead
we
of
say
saying the youth,
Yeah, I know.
Utes?
I understand what it means when you're saying
you know
it.
where it's from?
No, I don't know.
It's from my cousin Vinny.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's like a running thing.
But I didn't copy from your cousin Vinny,
You have a cousin Vinny?
the movie, right?
yeah. We all know. We know.
He's
that's
older than cousin Vinny, so technically, you know,
Yeah,
you
it's
make an
maybe-
argument that
maybe
it
it's
was
copying
his.
me.
Yeah.
The Utes. All right. Anyway, we'll move on from there. We're gonna talk a little bit about other Champions League matches too. Before we get into the Mercato, the transfer market, there's a lot to talk about. I know Peter. We're gonna talk about this as a transition because Peter, as this game was going on, as a goal after goal after goal went in on Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
I just started seeing Peter. You know the Grinch
grin. Ooh.
when the smile just bigger. Every goal went higher and higher.
Oh, yeah.
As he starts imagining Messi going to Inter and
yeah,
going
with
to
Inter
Milan.
jersey on his shoulder. Yeah.
As Barcelona.
Congratulations, Pete.
He'll look good.
Congratulations. You're
Congrats,
going to sit
Pete.
him on the bench like you did
Yeah.
with everybody else. Especially if Conte is the coach. He's going to find something wrong about Messi, too. He's capable.
He's too short, right?
Oh,
Too
yeah.
short.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't shave. He's going to do something something. If he lasts at Inter. for
Conte
the
is known for being very rigid and even very good players like an Eriksen. He doesn't play Eriksen because he doesn't run enough. So the joke is that Messi
He's not good.
we don't
Even
know where
Messi's
he's-
not good enough.
Where are you gonna put Messi in
He
his?
doesn't like
3-5-2?
his tattoo, you know.
Yeah.
There you go. That's another part of it.
So anyway, 8-2, 8-2, Bayern Munich against Barcelona.
My mind can't wrap around that match. What just
A
happened?
spanking.
8 goals.
What were you about to
It is a big spank. And you know what? I think it was. Listen, he's
It's a
been
big spank.
time.
Grande spank.
It's time. The Barcelona It's time for Barcelona to be spanked up that way.
It
Because,
makes me uncomfortable the way you say it.
because,
He's too happy about the big spank.
because, and we're done with this freaking laughing. They have all of those, world champions still in the team.
Superstars.
Okay, that they done. They were done already 2 years ago. They still keep, hoping that they're gonna have a rebirth. They're done. Those a lot of those guys. They're
Piqué's been there
done.
forever.
No, I think end of an era.
It's over. It's time to rebuild. Piqué is done. Busquets is done.
Busquets had a pretty good season.
And,
Busquets had a pretty decent. He's old. He's old,
No,
but
we don't watch enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Busquets was like PK. You can make an
Yeah,
argument for
yeah.
easily. But
So I think that Bayern was just. We knew coming into this that Bayern are big favorites for the Champions League. I never really expected
I
this.
haven't watched Bayern this season much, but
They-
seeing if they play like this, it's
They
theirs
were
wrapped up.
absolutely beautiful to watch. The way that Bayern Munich play, I really respect their level of professionalism in terms of how they don't care how they do it. They will just
the age differential between the Bayern and the Barcelona on the field.
check it, Mike.
How-
Anyway,
That's a hard check.
That is a
but
hard check.
you can
beautiful.
get the big spank.
It was exciting, great to watch, and I agree with what you said. End of an era for Barcelona. The coach that they got Setien.
this confirmed
completely
it.
gone.
What have
Listen,
you
what do you want
ever
from
seen?
Setien too, Mike? What do you want from Setien? Come on, what do you want?
Nah,
This
he's
is the player
horrible.
What
that
do
you
you
have.
mean?
That guy's
Yeah.
horrible.
But also,
It's
it's
like
horrible.
sitting in
I
his
know, but what are you going to do? Those are the players. What are you going to
I mean, the
do?
players aren't terrible.
When have you ever witnessed Barcelona not be competitive even in a Champions League? Not just lose, but not even close.
Nothing.
8-2. 8 goals. 8 goals.
That's embarrassing.
You could put a lot of players out there who wouldn't concede 8 goals.
8 is crazy.
You can
8
play
is
a lot of
crazy.
This is
Europa
one leg. There was no second leg.
Wow.
8 goals.
Milan would even lose 8
If
goals.
one of the goals they scored was an own goal.
Wow.
It was a wild.
I have never seen a
thriller.
worse Barcelona performance at this type of tier. And Messi played the full 90. You could argue maybe he wasn't there for some of it, but
For some
I mean,
of
like
it.
he started the game. It's not like you're getting an incomplete Barcelona team. You have a lot of the stars, a lot of the main faces, guys that you've seen over the last 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
I can see Messi leaving soon. I mean, I've been sold because they want to cash. They want to cash what's available on what's still left on on the name of Messi because Messi.
Send him to the
he can
Serie
give
A.
you-
I want the rivalry
Well,
again.
he can
I want
give
Would be
you,
fun.
he can
We're
give
all
you
with
1 or
you.
2 years in that stupid team like Inter, and then let
Don't
them
worry,
sell,
we'll take him 1 or 2
let them
years.
sell a bunch of jersey and let Conte bossy him around.
Anto,
And that's it.
sorry, Peter. Your former president Massimo Moratti today said, "I know for sure that they have the capabilities of making it happen. Of Messi to sign for Inter. Honestly, do you feel like it's possible this year?
Listen, if there's ever a year for it to happen, this is the year. The way that Barcelona played this year, they lost the Champions League.
Stop smiling,
8-2
man.
fashion.
Stop smiling.
They blew the La Liga where they had a chance. Well, they were up 4 points, something like that before.
There's no
and-
reason that Barcelona shouldn't have closed out La Liga.
And they choked that. Messi didn't re-sign, so the 2021 date is there. He's not signing, so there's a lot of question marks there.
Copa del Rey, they didn't
Messi-
He's
lose.
gonna feed too. Like Suarez is not getting younger.
No.
He had
Suarez
an
is
injury.
wrong.
Dembele's gonna be hurt for half of every season. Like, he doesn't have that many options the same way. They're gonna have to make signings. They signed Braithwaite.
Who?
Yeah,
Exactly.
That midfielder. right, or
Exactly.
something from
That was
Everton.
like
heard of
a
him.
striker from
From the-
Ligue 1.
Never
Yeah.
heard- I never
No,
even
no,
heard of
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that was what they were like, hey, this will be a great signing for us.
I never even heard of him.
So, Pete, are you saying I
Yes.
can get an Inter Messi jersey? Is that what you're saying? Just tell me that and I'll make the purchase.
I'm saying that we have the money available. That if you want to buy an
Do you
Inter
have,
Messi
do
jersey,
you have
we'll
the
be
money
able to buy.
available? You think Inter can make it happen?
Yeah.
Resources
I
wise?
think resource-wise,
Listen.
yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem.
The transfer fee is probably not going to be as crazy. Like kind of like Ronaldo had a 400 million transfer fee, but they didn't. They paid
But
100
think from a
million.
fandom perspective too, it'll bring everyone back to the
yeah.
Serie A.
For
'Cause
sure.
all right, so I started watching the Serie A early 2000s to like mid 2000s, and I consider that the golden era of the
Yeah.
Serie A.
Late
With
90s
Kaká,
to
everything.
2000s.
Come on,
Yeah.
this was that, and then I fell out of touch with a lot of the Serie A from some of the future years and got back into it recently. But that would bring back golden era vibes to me, and I want
sure.
that rivalry as a fan, as someone who's been there. All of us have been there for the complete
Not me,
career
bro.
of Messi and Ronaldo.
That'd be nice.
Please move to another league.
That's-
I'll
it's-
see y'all go at this again.
It's funny. Jimmy Conrad had replied to my tweet, and he's like, even as a Juve fan, you would want Messi to come to Inter. And I said, for me, as a football fan, if you don't want Messi and Ronaldo again, you're not a real
You're not a
football
real
fan.
fan.
Like you can't be scared of the competition. It would make the Serie A so interesting. Now a little less so because Pirlo's a coach. I would have preferred if we had Juventus that was a little stronger like a couple years ago. But either way, 100%, I would
Bring
love it.
Sarri back.
And I do think it's not as crazy. I know most people that are watching. it is insane. It is an insane idea. But also, when Ronaldo went to Juventus, every single person around me told me it will never happen. It's impossible.
That's true.
And
That's
it
true.
happened. And then after it happens, you're like, oh yeah, it happened because of this. We're making a small prediction.
good point.
I think it is
Listen,
possible.
I think also Moratti said never. How do you say never in Chinese?
Chinese,
Because
yeah,
in
he
the
did say
end,
that.
you never know what can
How do
happen.
you say it in Chinese?
I don't know.
You gotta learn.
That would have to
Say-
get edited out of the vlog if we attempted that one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. But you have Barcelona, where pretty much besides just the what's the struggles they had this year, even the past years they've signed Dembele, Griezmann, all these guys. They've been spending big money.
And Griezmann didn't
And-
fit well.
Not
Yeah.
really.
Or
And-
they're not performing.
they're-
Because
They're
of
not-
Messi.
they
And
didn't fit
Tomato's
in.
young too. He was horrible
Terrible.
today.
Did
Horrible.
Did you see that?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like they gotta like really.
He got humiliated.
Shout out Alfonso Davies. He was a beast,
The Canadian
man. Wow.
beast.
He completely
sir.
tore up Semedo from Canada. The guy's from kids from Canada, played in MLS.
Dude, he made
I was
him fall
happy.
on his
I was actually
face.
happy to
He
see
made
it.
him
He
fall on
played
his
his youth,
face.
I think, at Edmonton as well, which is like even a
Yeah.
secondary.
Yeah,
He played for the Whitecaps,
Caps,
right?
Vancouver.
Yeah, then he went to
Whitecaps.
Vancouver afterward. But I think
That was
he went
awesome.
Edmonton
Oh,
to
wow.
Vancouver,
That
and
was-
then straight. He went straight over this year.
Wait,
basically, or yeah.
Mike, I had a
he's been there like
question
year
for you
and a
because
half.
we don't watch really Bundesliga. You probably watch a little bit more than us. But did he take Jordi Alba's place? Because
Not
he moved
Jordi
more,
Alba.
Not
No,
Jordi
no.
Alba.
Alaba.
Alaba.
Yeah, yeah.
Alaba.
They have similar names, I guess, one letter off. But
Right.
he moves more central to a
Yeah.
center back.
Well, you just
Is that because of him?
Well, yeah, because you got the younger version now, so it's like
Yeah.
he
Okay.
is what Alaba was.
Yeah,
He
Alaba was a beast too.
maybe
Alaba
he's
was a
even
Alamo
more-
scored a great goal tonight, to be fair.
I think
Oh my
so.
God.
I think that I think Alaba in his prime might be slightly better than Davies with some of the technical work. Maybe not all the dribbling, but some of the shooting in the class. But
Okay.
But I don't even think in his prime that he was faster than Davies.
Wow.
Davies'
a
explosiveness
train,
is unbelievable.
No, he's very explosive.
unbelievable.
He's not scared. He really
He was
takes
fit
everyone
Atalanta
on.
great.
Oh.
Put him over there,
that'd
just
be nuts.
run all game.
He
You
won't
come
be
to
cheated.
Inter too. if you want.
If you want.
It's actually the
You're
first.
gonna get Messi. I heard Vidal. I think is one other player
No.
that he might. Oh,
Now,
you
Vidal,
don't want Vidal
even
anymore?
Last year.
end of the era again. He's gonna be out.
Yeah, Vidal.
Like, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I don't. Barcelona needs to move their whole team.
Oh
around.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of changes. But
It's a whole
the
takeover.
problem of the matter is
They got
La
Pjanic
Masia is
coming
not producing anything. There's no young guys who you say, okay, these are the
Ansu
Barcelona
Fati, I
type.
think, is the only one.
There's really nothing. So you lost that identity. You lost your sense of your style in a sense, and then also even the coaching decisions. Every year is
Oh
a
my
new
God.
coach.
Horrible.
So it seems like the management in Barca
They
is
should
just
take Saudi.
upsetting.
They should take Saudi.
Oh, yeah.
And-
They
That would
have
be perfect.
Coutinho, and they gave Coutinho now is
Yeah.
on loan to Bayern Munich.
scored
He
two
comes in,
goals.
scores 2 goals. It's like that's got to be the biggest slap in the face.
Oh man.
That's
You're like,
hilarious.
he wasn't good enough for us, but here we go.
That's
Where's
crazy,
Coutinho
right?
from, Anto?
It's Brazilian.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
where's
what
he
club
originally
in
from?
Serie A did he come from?
Inter. Oh, another
Yeah,
reject.
big.
Inter reject.
No, it was not a
perfect
it was not a reject.
No, they actually sold him.
We
to
sold
Chelsea.
him.
was another Inter reject. Look what's going on.
He
Any
He's
reject
developed
from
well.
Inter.
Perisic has developed really well.
Any reject from Inter, it's like a guarantee world-class player.
Why don't you go down the list for Mike, because he probably doesn't know all the list.
Pirlo, number one.
That's
Seedorf?
it. See?
Seedorf, okay.
Roberto Carlos.
Roberto Carlos was
Cassano.
Yeah, it was on Inter.
Cassano,
Roberto
Cassano, of
Carlos
course,
was on
they-
Inter.
They gave up on Cassano. They gave up on Zaniolo. They gave up on.
We talking Cassano?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cassano.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but Cassano came after he was on Milan. He was,
Cassano went to a lot of
doesn't
teams.
sit.
Too.
Doesn't-
Like he's
Yeah.
bounced around.
He's a
Doesn't-
traveler.
Yeah,
Come on.
What's your opinion on Cassano, by the way?
amazing. Big fan.
Damn it.
Yeah.
He's nodding his
A
head.
sucker con a suar.
Like, as a technical guy, he's a great technician. He's probably a terrible teammate. I don't know if I'd want to hang out with him, but
You do want to.
I do. That's what I didn't know.
You do want to hang out with him, believe me.
Please tell. I don't know.
Believe
I don't know.
He's
On
probably-
the pitch or off the pitch?
me. In both. Actually, off the pitch is one of the best. If
That
you-
I could see, but on the pitch,
if-
I think I would hate him sometimes.
No. That guy is one of the few people that never looks at the ball when he is handling the ball. He's only looking everywhere. The ball is glued on his foot. The guy's a magician with the ball. It's one of the few people that doesn't want to be told what to do with the ball, especially by idiots like Conte. Okay?
What does Conte always get called into
Listen,
this?
Conte or any other coach, Cassano is one of the few players that doesn't need to be told what to do when he's on the field. Okay?
I think he's someone who didn't get like he lived up to his potential.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Like,
Because
I think everybody can admit in his best years.
and here's
from-
why.
No, but from a technical standpoint,
Yeah.
He has. Like a lot of people don't have
No,
it.
absolutely.
You have to, most people, you have to work your tail off.
Yeah.
You're gonna be.
He was born with
pro,
talent.
pro.
He was born with talent.
Totti, which I respect a lot, he said this guy is one of the top 3 midfielder in Europe at the time. At the time,
I don't think so.
Is this quoted?
He said it.
He
He's
went on
quoted,
quoted.
yeah,
Said
I don't
this?
know. Apparently.
It's quoted.
There's a
But the thing is, it doesn't matter because then when we
That's
bring
a
up
big
another,
opinion. It does matter.
No, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because Guardiola said that Sadi is one of the best coaches, and what do you have to
Give
say
me a
about that?
break. That
He said he's
guy-
just being nice.
No,
So you can't use
absolutely
one
not.
person's
But I don't think
quote
no.
and not
Francesco
another
Totti's
person.
not somebody that's just nice. He's gonna have his own
Totti
opinion.
is
He's
not
done-
nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Totti will
say.
never say that. Totti will never
Well,
say that.
Totti was his teammate for
Yeah,
years.
they were
also.
best friends.
They
I'm just
were
saying
boys.
he's not
Best
someone that
friend.
would do it for the club. He's
They
gonna
were
say like
best
he means what he says and
If you,
says
didn't,
what.
if you didn't guess it, Antonios and Cassano, they both come from the same town in Italy.
Same
So
region.
that's where their love. You actually have a good story. Why don't you say the story about Cassano when he was a kid? What he used to do?
He used to win games and just to feed his family because his
Oh, I thought
father
you meant
was not
another
there
story.
for the family, and they'd call him all the time. Just when they were playing inside of the castle over there, they had a little city.
Oh, really?
The castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he went to Body, he did a little tour on our Instagram
Yeah, it
stories.
was
He showed
nice.
around where
Right.
Cassano used to
He
play.
used
It's
to
a
play
castle.
just on the old city. There was a castle with
grass on the side.
all
Yeah,
surrounded
it's
with
being for
the
I'll
walls.
pull it up.
And there was a little field over there, and then that's what they used to the kids. They used to scrimmage all the time and fight, and then the rivalry over there they built up since you are a very young kid. So that's what he used to do. He used to go and win games when the team needed, and he used to get paid just to feed up to bring the bread and everything else for the mother. That's it.
He's looking at the castle right now.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Could you imagine playing football in a castle or around a
Oh,
castle?
yeah, right
And-
outside.
And they used to just juggle the ball just against the church of St. Nicholas and all the stuff and just fooling around. That's why he grew up learning how to play soccer. Not from learning from the big superstar Ronaldo or anybody else. That guy was born with that talent.
100%. If only he fulfilled it, it would have been incredible. But yeah.
I
You have
got a
something to
question.
say?
I have a question.
Yeah, you get to- you
Kind
get
of
to-
related but unrelated.
Okay.
Who do you think are who do you think are the most overshadowed players throughout the Cristiano and the Messi era? Because we always talk about them being the best. That the
Good
guys
question.
under that,
Kaká.
because I think personally, I think Ibra's the special,
Yeah,
unique talent that you're not going to see again. You're not
It's
going
a
to
good
replicate it. Some of the goals that he's scored, and he gets a lot of attention and a lot of credit because of his off the field antics. But on the field, he's amazing. He's
That's a great shout. Yeah.
sure.
incredible and consistent. He's been good from top to bottom, young to old.
It really does suck for certain players where like if they were born in a different era, they 100% would have won the Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or,
But
for
because you're
sure.
like Messi and Ronaldo dominated for so many years, it's like impossible.
I made
Like,
a
nearly
I made a
impossible.
list, by the way, on this question. I
What-
thought
what-
about it when I was riding
who-
over here.
who were they on?
So I think Kaká's interesting. I mean, he
But
didn't have
Kaká
all the
did
years.
win it, the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But
He
so
did
like,
win
you're
it.
still like
Won
you're
more
not
too, right?
Casillas?
even when he
Kaká.
won the
Oh, Kaká, yeah. Oh,
even
yeah.
even when he won the Ballon d'Or, it's still like a lot of people's focus is still Cristiano
For sure.
and Messi. And
Okay.
I think that he should be in that combo. And then there's a couple guys that came before that sometimes people link in. I feel like
Like who?
where all right, so like a Zidane is before,
Okay,
right?
Zidane
But
is-
but I still think like even on the
Shevchenko
back
was,
end,
I think, another one of them. That
Fingo's really good.
Figo, yeah.
I was just thinking like there's so much credit that I feel like even players like Xavi and Iniesta who play very different positional styles. But if you don't have them, Barcelona doesn't have the success.
Exactly.
Never.
It's a
you know what's
genius.
Not
that's
even
shown?
Spain.
That's
Not
what I was
even
gonna
the
say. That's
Spain
shown by
national
Spain. They were untouchable for
the only
6
two
years
players-
Guys,
nearly.
Messi
At the
and
highest level.
But you
I
can
don't
put
see
those
anything.
two guys anywhere. But insert them on any team that will change the entire dynamic of that.
But
sauce.
Messi and Guardiola have not won a Champions League. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't
Without
won a
them.
Champions League without Xavi and Iniesta.
Nothing.
Well, that's
right?
what I'm
Have they
saying.
won?
Like, I
Have
think-
Guardiola
pretty sure.
and Barcelona won a Champions League without Xavi and Iniesta? I don't think they have.
Well, because Xavi and Iniesta are better big game players than Messi. So they're going to
point.
give you that performance every
By
single
far.
time.
When it's
I
regardless.
agree with that.
too.
I agree with that.
By
So like,
far,
they're
Messi-
overshadowed, but we don't talk about them the same way. Like
Messi-
world
that's
class.
true.
but-
Messi on the important game disappears from the field, even when he plays for Argentina. This
When
is
the
main
going
reason
gets
why-
tough in a big game, he
Listen,
does.
This is the main reasons why he's been overmatched on who's better, him or Maradona, when it comes down to the best player ever into the history, even of Argentina, let's say. For me, Messi is still not
As good as
at the
Maradona.
I think
Because he was
Drogba
able
had a
to
couple
take-
years as well in
Because
that mix. That was
you're saying
Forget
because he
about
was
the
able
amount
to
of goals
become
that
a
he
leader.
scores and all the stuff. Plug
You can't forget
Messi.
about that.
If you plug Maradona into the Barcelona, Maradona will have probably
Even
done
for
a lot
Argentina,
more.
though, for
Oh,
Copa
by
America,
far,
they won
by
in like
far.
3 finals. They didn't win it with Messi.
The talent of
because
Maradona.
well, Maradona had the mindset of a killer.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like
Big
that's the
time.
only thing that if there's any criticism of Messi, it's hard to find one. He
Exactly.
doesn't have the I'm gonna rip your leg off. I'm gonna
100%.
like, he doesn't
That killer
have that.
instinct.
Winners
Yeah.
like
Like-
mentality.
Like
no,
Ronaldo
it's not the
too.
same. Like Ronaldo, if you said something he didn't like at the bar, he's probably gonna hit you.
Yeah.
Or he's like, you think you're faster than me? Let's race right now.
Yeah.
Just stop what you're doing. Put your beer down.
Yeah,
we'll race.
exactly.
Maradona,
Exactly.
he made a mediocre team the best in the world.
You got to watch the Maradona documentary on HBO, where it really explains how he went
I
to a
grew up
Napoli that was a
watching
Serie,
him.
a second division team, and he made them league titles
Big time.
with Juventus. That
Well,
was
it's a
seen
winner's
as, like-
mentality.
Exactly.
You either have that or you don't
Crazy.
have that.
Yeah, no, it's true. I 100% agree, and it's not talked about at all. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
nobody will say
Also-
because everybody's very scared
Yeah.
to say anything about Messi because you'll get killed to say something.
No, no,
about
no.
it.
There's no doubt that Messi's ability is
No, 100%.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You made it very
But
clear. We're
there's some
talking about his
characteristics.
I'm talking about
attitude.
players that were probably overshadowed too within that period
Yeah.
too. Like Xavi and Iniesta, if you don't credit them for what they've really been able to accomplish, then you've missed
Yeah.
out on two of the greatest midfielders we're probably going to see in
Just
our life.
look where Spain and
Even
and look where
David Silva's in that
Barcelona
same
are.
category to me.
Even Snyder
David
that
Silva's
year
the next
when
topic.
Inter won the treble too. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Busquets,
Fantastic.
Busquets,
Yeah, yeah.
there was the 4 players, those 4 or 5.
You could put anybody else in the team. Think about it. For the strikers, they did that because you had David Villa for a little bit. Fernando Torres was
David
terrible.
Silva.
Was terrible for them. Yeah, because you had Silva though. You could
Silva.
insert anybody as an
Sanchez,
attacker and you figure it out.
Yeah, 100%. No, I totally agree. It didn't work with Ibra. That was the only guy that
He still scored goals at Barcelona.
There's always
He
a
did,
little.
yeah, but he
He
didn't
still,
fit.
he
He didn't-
still,
he
he
didn't
didn't get on
fit.
with the
They made it-
manager.
yeah.
But he still did what Ibra's gonna do. Like, go pull it up. What's his goal scoring record for Barcelona? Boom. Hit me
Mike,
a Google.
Mike,
Someone
Mike's got it.
Google.
Mike-
I
Mike will
guarantee he
search
still had a good record scoring for Barcelona. He just didn't get on with the rest of the manager.
Let's go
scored
to
like
the next
18
topic.
goals, if I remember.
As Mike,
In how
as
many
Mike,
games?
as Mike finds that, we'll go to the next topic. David Silva. We're talking about David Silva.
World class.
Is linked. Was almost about to join Lazio.
If that
There's the
happens, that
rumors.
changes their team.
Well, now they're saying that David Silva has not been answering his phone for Lazio because he might have a call from Juventus coming. That's the latest rumors right now that both are interested. Personally, as a Juventus fan, I wouldn't want David Silva. I want him
not?
to go to Lazio. I think because I love how he would fit in Lazio's team.
He'd fit better
right
at
behind
Lazio, I
Immobile
think, too.
with Luis Alberto, Leiva, and Savic.
Right
I
behind
love the
them.
way Lazio look with Silva in their lineup.
He might fit better at that for
You
sure.
have the stat?
Yeah, I do have the stat. So at Barcelona, he had 46 appearances and he had 22 goals. So yeah, that was
Solid.
very good.
Solid.
Almost a goal every other game.
And he didn't always get...
The things that will always be remembered that Inter beat them in the treble
For sure.
in that match.
How old is he? Is he
33,
older.
34.
Yeah, around there.
So what do you guys think about David Silva?
Not a good
Better
fit
fit
anymore.
Juventus
For
or
Lazio,
Lazio?
100% Lazio. He'd
Not
fit that
even-
midfield.
neither one
The
for
best
me.
midfield in Europe.
Neither
But
one.
he's not a counterattack player either.
No.
So he's a
No,
build-up
no.
player.
Yeah, yeah,
so you
yeah.
have to play a slower build-up if you want to maximize what he does well. Because that last pass, that last bit of reading the game, the timing, that's where he specializes. You want to play the deep ball, though? That's not him. In athleticism, he's only going to keep going a little bit down.
Right.
Well, we don't
Lazio's
even know how
on midfield.
Pirlo is going to play the team,
How much,
so it's
how
hard
much
for us
is
to answer.
how much is
No,
the
free
Can be a free
transfer.
transfer.
Then it's a different story.
He's going to make like
It's a
$3 million a
different
year.
story.
He's
You
making
can
it seem
use
like he's
for
not
a
getting
year,
paid
a year
the
and a
way
half.
you say. He
If
still
you
has a
can use-
salary.
Oh well, if you
He's still world class.
What is that?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
salary?
for
What,
sure.
3 million a year, 4
Yeah,
million?
yeah, probably 3
we
to
don't
5
know
million.
exactly.
Then
around
it's worth it to do it because at 34, I wouldn't put my money on him.
I think KDB would not be the player that he is without David Silva.
Wow. Okay. That's,
All right,
that's good
we
to
can bring
know.
them both to Juventus if that's what you're.
I'm
if that's what you're leaning
just
towards.
saying, like, I think
Yeah.
he took a lot of the
Juventus
details
is
and
not
some
going to
of
get him.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of
Juventus is not gonna
credit.
get
I
him.
know. I don't think so either. Other big news with Juventus. This has been coming out this weekend. Juventus, apparently, according to a lot of the reports, are looking to sell one of Dybala or Ronaldo this season. We know that Juventus financially have been struggling big time ever since signing Ronaldo, 31 million after taxes. So it's like 60 million before taxes. Italy's different, and they report their salaries after taxes. The rest of Europe reports it before taxes.
So
it's
there's
a
a
little
lot
bit
of
different.
confusion
So yeah,
with that
sometimes people
stuff.
get confused.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're saying that Juventus they obviously pay a lot of players, and we went through it. They spend about 56 million for players like Higuain, Rabiot, Ramsey, Bernardeschi in salary a year. So they're struggling in their budget-wise. And they're saying that Dybala might be one of the guys that's sacrificed or Ronaldo. A journalist came out, I don't remember his name. I have it written down. I think he wrote the autobiography for Ronaldo, and he wrote the biography for a lot of players. He says that Juventus have been shopping Ronaldo around to try to get rid of those wages. It's just nobody else is willing to take them on. Again,
I wouldn't take Ronaldo.
last year, Juventus tried to push Dybala out with full force. They were pushing with both hands, with their foot. They were just trying to get rid of Dybala anyway, because Paratici is incredibly incompetent in what he does at Juventus. And Dybala went on to be the MVP or the second best player of Juventus. And the only reason why they won the Scudetto was because of Dybala and Ronaldo. And now the management, instead of looking to offload all this waste that's in the squad that they screwed up paying too much in a salary, are looking to get rid of Dybala or Ronaldo, which would be crazy. Obviously, this does not mean they're going to leave. But the issue is that Dybala is renewing his contract. He wants $15 million a year. He's currently... I think they offered him like 10. So
To
there's
Dybala?
to Dybala. And Dybala wants
15.
Dybala wants
10 or
15 million.
13, okay, or
Dybala
the
wants 15 million a year, and Juventus is saying that they already have struggling with their finances that they can't give him this money. If there's anybody in this team that deserves
Yeah, it's
to be
him.
paid, it's Paulo Dybala.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Rabiot gets almost 10 million a year.
Whoa. I will shop him immediately out.
That's what happens when you go from PSG.
Dybala should not be the one that you're cutting the corners for. That's all.
Also,
I'll
the
say.
journalist, I just want to say for the people that are asking, it's Guillaume Balagu. If you guys were, well, Marco was saying the journalist
Yeah,
before that.
probably pronounced it
Saturday
wrong, but
before.
it's fine.
Yeah, I definitely pronounced it
Anyway,
wrong.
Dybala or Ronaldo.
He's not Greek,
If
so-
Dybala and Ronaldo leave Juventus, I think that the team is done. Doesn't matter what you do. If you get rid of those guys, they're the only
But
two
they're not going to
players
get rid of
along
both. You
with-
said it's one or
No,
the other.
It's
Yeah,
one.
it's
If they get
one.
rid of one of them, I'm saying. If they get rid of one of them. And what also makes me laugh is the alternatives that they're saying. Oh, Juventus are going to sell Dybala, get Milik, or get Morata, or get Zapata. You cannot compare. These are in two completely different stratospheres. And they're saying that Pirlo wants a real number 9. That he wants to play with a real number 9 who can lay off a la Benzema to Ronaldo. And that Dybala might not fit in
They might
those
shop
tactics.
Ronaldo. I'll tell you the reasons why. Juventus right now, even though they won the Campionato, they are in a rebuilding mode because they have a bunch of holdies over there. Bonucci, Chiellini. Little by little, all of this team needs to be shopped out.
Matuidi left, by the way, officially.
Well, Matuidi, whatever. But, you just want the team here to be able to eventually rebuild around a couple players. Dybala, for me, is one at the top. And, there is no other leader. The franchise player, they don't exist anymore for Juventus. I mean, before it used to be Buffon. Everything rotated around Buffon. Del Piero. Now, it's Dybala is the symbol of Juventus. Ronaldo's got what? Another year, a year and a half. It's already in decline as we speak right now.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. So, but you wouldn't
Scored 37 goals last year.
You will not
How many penalty
rebuild.
kicks?
You will not.
12.
Marco, you do not want to rebuild. On a franchise figure, on a player that is 35 years old.
They're not the
36
guys that
years
you
old.
sacrifice.
So-
They're not the guys you
I don't think it
sacrifice.
comes down to, just as a counter argument, how many teams, what teams can afford Cristiano Ronaldo right now? This is
Right.
the bigger issue.
PSG.
I don't
Who's
think you
gonna
can.
take him?
PSG.
Yeah,
That's, I
PSG.
don't think it's. I think you're right that Ronaldo would be the one to move.
I
It's
will offload
obvious,
him
pay the ball
immediately.
a little bit more. He's younger, whatever. I just don't think what team can buy him.
PSG is
That's
the only
it,
one.
right?
Man United.
Or going to MLS
He's,
somehow.
he's not going back to United. I can't see that.
Yeah, maybe
I
MLS.
love that narrative. I just don't see it.
Yeah. No,
Inter
but,
can take it.
no, we're not gonna take it.
You take everybody.
But the thing is, also comes down to besides who's gonna take Cristiano Ronaldo's salary, who's also gonna pay the transfer fee? Because yeah, it comes off your books with the
100 million.
that, but you're
Nah,
not getting the
they're
money.
not
So
gonna
I'll
Dybala,
get 50.
they're probably
I'll
gonna
lower
take
my
50.
expectation.
I think even less.
Juventus
even.
is going to
If he
keep
has
him off a
$60
default.
million
There's nothing. There's no one that can take him because PSG knows it's probably the only team that can afford him. So they're like, if you give us a deal, we'll start thinking
Yeah.
about
50
it. So-
million it will be more than enough to transfer him. And you can spend the money.
And they still got to
on a
get rid of
good
somebody
player.
to bring him in. They got to get rid of Neymar and Mbappe.
Neymar,
probably.
yeah,
They can't get all three of them.
Yeah.
It comes down
Or
to
could they?
understanding.
Could you imagine?
We'll make a graphic right now.
Yeah,
I'm not
speak,
making no graphic.
Speak with that guy over there.
The thing is, I think Juventus,
Liverpool.
Paratici for years has been ruining Juventus with horrible decisions. Again,
Bernardeschi, your boy.
horrible. We can't even talk about that guy. And
He's on his way out.
so many players that they sign on free transfers, which they think are free transfers, but then you end up paying them so much in wages.
salary, yeah.
Ramsey, Rabiot, $7 million a year. 5 million, $6 million a year for guys that are not even good for the system. So they get suckered into these free transfer
How did they
deals.
get Ramsey? That doesn't make
and
sense to
they
me still.
up their balance so high with their salaries. So again, Paratici, we said he was the guy that should have been fired way before Sarri. Again, he is going to lead to the decline of Juventus, and Agnelli is still not going to fire the guy. He tried to push Dybala out of the team last year, and Dybala was one of the reasons why Juventus had any success this season.
To be fair,
He did get Ronaldo too, though.
All right,
to
to
give
be
him
fair,
some
push
credit.
back on my
what you said, Dybala, even last year, trying to sell Dybala was more of a number game than actually anything else. Because Dybala, what he can do. Yes, Sarri said, he wasn't, especially in the beginning of the season, he wasn't starting Dybala. He was moving him in and out. But Dybala, I think anybody would know and recognize his talent and his ability. The only reason why you would even put or even consider selling Dybala is that way you make
Okay,
that
now
money
let me push
off.
back on your argument. You're saying it's a number game, meaning the salaries are too high.
No, not even just the salaries are too high. You're going to be able to bring in money. If you can sell Dybala, even last year, Dybala's going for around $80 million.
But again,
80.
At least.
Nah.
90 to 100, they're
You're
saying.
gonna get a lot of money.
Either
for
way,
it.
least.
either way,
Dybala's
either way.
good.
But that again comes down to budgeting and all these stuff. Who you sell, Juventus selling has been horrible for years. They have not sold players for a good amount of money. Besides Pogba, he's the only one who really went for some good money. They've
Better
screwed-
than good money. Premium
okay,
quality.
Sorry. Okay,
But
very
he's
good.
only-
Top tier, upper
But that's not
echelon.
Paratici. That's Marotta who was there. Since Paratici has been there, he screwed up on that side. What my point is that the team is filled with very poor players, and Dybala is the guy that you do not touch. Dybala and Ronaldo are the only two that you should look. You say Dybala, De Ligt, and Ronaldo. You should put them in a tier and say all the other idiots below. What do we do with these guys? These three should be untouchable.
Can you check? Can you check when?
Higuain's got to go.
How old was Zidane
Bentancur, I would
when
keep
Juventus
him. I
sold
would-
him to Real Madrid?
Bentancur, yes, there are a few. There's about Szczesny, yes, you could say.
Yeah,
but what I'm
they-
saying is that all of them are more sacrificial than Dybala,
absolutely.
De Ligt,
But
and
would you
Ronaldo.
consider Zidane when he played with Juventus? He was the best player on Juventus.
He got sold for a lot of
and
money.
they sold
back
him
then.
for a
It was
lot of money. But at that
record
same
amount.
time, they bought Buffon, they bought Nedved, they bought Thuram, and those were three big pieces for that Juventus.
But you cannot
next 10 years.
trust Paratici.
I'm not
and
saying to trust, but I'm just
they
saying
sold Pogba. They
in
sold the best
comparison-
midfield. We had the best midfield in the world: Pirlo, Marquisio, Vidal, and Pogba. And what has it? What you know? What last year we started with? Pjanic, Khedira, and Matuidi. That is incompetence. I would never trust them with 100 million to spend getting it from Dybala. What are they going to buy?
the-
You have to go off a track
Well, the
record.
thing is to
I
go
think
off.
Pjanic is a
see
very
the
good offload
transition.
for you.
He was 29 already. Okay, so he was a little older.
I like Pjanic game at least.
Yeah,
The
but-
other- that was a weird mix though. If you're comparing like what you had before with dynamic midfielders to the new group here, because Khedira and Matuidi are defensive mids.
Horrible.
Yeah.
But Mike, my argument is this. When you have a player like Ronaldo that is scoring 36 goals, you want to offload it because next year, God forbid, he scores 18 or 20, then his value is going to plunge. Now is the time for you to sell.
Well, listen,
Well,
you're not gonna be able to
I agree,
sell him
this-
with that
this is
60
no-
now
million.
is the
I just don't
time
know
for
who's
you
gonna
to
take
sell.
them.
But you
So-
can't even sell
Yeah,
him
you're
for
not
a
selling him
lot.
to
Listen to
anybody.
me,
You're
listen
not
to
selling
me.
it
No
to
one's gonna
anybody.
take that
Fee, lower
salary.
your expectation, go from 100 million to 40 million or 50 million.
They know they're not
and let
getting
them
100
take care
million.
of
But
the
it's about his salary. His salary is 30 million.
Yeah.
That's
Net.
what I'm saying. So you have
Net.
to take it. You have to take it.
Net.
Wait,
Net.
let's go through all the leagues here. Let's say you got the just let me play devil's advocate for you, okay, Antonio. So let's say that you've got Ronaldo.
questions?
You
No,
good?
sorry.
You got Ronaldo. You're shipping him out.
Got him.
They lower the transfer fee, so more clubs are now interested. How many can actually take on his salary? Go through the leagues. Who? What? Like maybe United can
Yeah.
take it on.
United, PSG, Bayern,
City,
not
if
Bayern,
you
not
wanna go to-
Bayern. Maybe not. They will not take Ronaldo, but
There's not that many clubs. Is the only point I'm making. I don't think there's that many that can actually pick him up feasibly.
Then you
He's
have to
not going
also
back
have-
to Madrid. He's
you-
not going to go to Barcelona, so they're off.
And you have to
Nothing
balance
in
the
La
books.
Liga.
And you have to balance the
maybe
books.
United Emirates over there, or maybe in China. China could be a big
They
fit for
can't-
him.
I would hate to see him go to China.
Ah, well,
he
listen,
He cares too
Ronaldo-
much-
Money
he cares
talks.
too much about his
Money
legacy.
talks.
Yeah.
No,
he
but
cares
he
too much
already made
about
enough
his
money.
legacy.
He made enough money. He cares about his legacy. He can't go to China. So all right, so like we've not. There's no one in the La Liga that can afford him. No one. He's not going to stay in the Serie A unless it's with Juventus. So those two leagues are done. Liga 1, it's only PSG. And then in the
German
Premier
league,
League,
nobody's
nobody's
gonna
getting him
get
in German. You could say
Man
you want to make an
City,
argument for
Man
Bayern.
U.
Bayern's playing beautiful right now. They're not messing that up with another big ego.
Nah.
They got Lewandowski scoring who knows how many goals. It's literally 4 clubs maybe in the Premier League and PSG.
So you
maybe.
guys are kind of stuck with him. What,
Yeah,
what,
these
what did you do?
defaulted. There's nothing you can do.
I'm so
You
sad
can't
to be
move on.
stuck with Cristiano Ronaldo.
You're stuck.
No,
It
no, no,
sucks.
no.
It's horrible. Thank you. I know. If that's what I
But
gotta
if
be
one of
stuck
them,
with,
but
I'll
if one of
take
them
it.
has
Yeah,
to
but
go,
in
then
a
it's going
way,
to be
but
Dybala because
Mike,
Dybala has value.
Like,
In
neither
a
of them
way,
is
now
the
what you can do
thing.
because you're stuck with Ronaldo, you have to get rid of Dybala. I
Yeah,
think
you
would be a
have
very
to. If that's the case,
very
you
bad
have
move.
one of them
Very
gotta
bad
go.
move.
Neither of them. Let's move on. We're gonna.
No, that's
You don't like that.
convenient
You don't like
anymore.
losing.
Next
You don't like
question.
losing. Yeah.
What's next question? All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I like this. Let's go.
Let's
Yes.
go to
What do you
Koulibaly might be sold by Napoli. Another guy. Man City's interested. Apparently Napoli have gone down to 70 million for him. They're willing to take 70 million from the 100 million that they initially wanted. They're saying
I don't
now
think
listen.
it's worth even 50. I don't think it's that.
Koulibaly has
that
not
good.
had a good year for Napoli. My
No.
question is, aging player that this season has done very poorly. Napoli need the money. Would you sell Koulibaly for 70 million so that you could buy
In a
somebody
heartbeat.
younger?
In a heartbeat, even for 60, 50.
All right.
It's not worth it that much.
Let's
Believe
not
me.
go that low.
No.
He's one of the top defenders, Anto.
He could change though the dynamic of your team depending what squad. Because Liverpool, when they got Virgil van Dijk, everybody said, "Whoa, that's too much money. You're crazy. I can't believe that for a center back."
Sure.
He changed the entire back line and the confidence of the back line, and you could put any other center back with him.
Oh, yeah.
Gomez developed because of him. Matip, we always talk about Matip was average before he got next to Virgil van Dijk. Matip was He's okay.
They tried to throw
He's
Manolas next to
suitable. He's
Koulibaly. It did not
proficient.
work.
You know, a lot of the players, like Mike said, Van Dijk, he put the Liverpool over the top because a lot of people they focus on the people that they score, but they don't focus on the people that they save a lot of goals and they score when when they're not required to be
No,
scoring.
I 100% agree. I just think that Koulibaly at this time, I love Koulibaly. For me, he was one of the best defenders in the world. A couple of years ago, he was top. I think at this point, very scary how he declined this year. And I know it was an off year for all of Napoli. They did not have a good moment. But I do think that this is your last moment. And De Laurentiis is probably looking at this and saying, if he has one more bad year, you're not even going to get 50 million from him next year.
No.
He's going to probably pushing 30 around there.
Yeah, this
is the last time that you can
28,
sell.
right? How old is Koulibaly?
I'm going to check right now. I think he's 29.
28 or 29, yeah.
Question. So
Sell him.
do you think that
He's 29. He's 29.
Do you think that Koulibaly oozes that confidence? Because that's where a team would pay for that to control your back line. Because I'll use Liverpool again as an example with Virgil van Dijk. Because he has this confidence, this presence, both the fullbacks are on board with that. Robertson, you had the young Trent Alexander-Arnold at the time. These guys are like, okay, this is our leader on the back, and now we got the most out of them.
Yeah.
Liverpool maximized both their fullbacks, who are both like arguably the two best fullbacks in the game. Easily top 3 on each side.
Yeah.
One younger than the other, but both in the right age range.
I think Liverpool's situation is very different from Napoli's. So that would be my only answer is Napoli, I think that it's too much of a risk for them to not sell Koulibaly at this point.
No, I'm not talking about anything selling from Liverpool. I'm talking about when Liverpool brought in Virgil, he had the leadership qualities to not only improve the other center back, but the other defenders around him, develop talent. So it was a great investment, even if they didn't know what they were going to get from him on the pitch immediately. He performed at the highest level, but I feel all the players around him are on the same board. They're like, he's going to protect what we're doing here. This is our guy in the back line. If Koulibaly could give that to a team, that gives you a lot more value where you take the big transfer.
That was supposed to be the idea with Napoli. Was they signed Manolas, who was supposed to... Manolas was one of the top defenders for Roma.
Was one of the top defenders.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
One of the top
I
defenders.
believe my words were. And it was supposed to be... We were here saying Koulibaly and Manolas are going to be the two best center backs of the league.
Yeah,
Because
he
on
said
paper, it was supposed to work out. And it did not work out in any fashion. Do you think it worked out?
I don't think anyone thinks it worked out.
No.
Do you think Koulibaly going to a team like Atalanta?
Nah.
For them or no?
Nah, I
They're
can't see
gonna be
that
able to afford
happening.
it.
I
No
can't
They
see
way.
can't afford it, but he would be great.
it would be
Because there's a lot of one-on-one matchups again.
Yeah.
You got the big bodies,
No,
a
that would
smart
be
reader of the
amazing,
game.
Well,
I
listen,
can't see him going there.
Koulibaly, for his size, he's quick. So, I mean, he can play that 1v1 matchup. Besides this year, he has been, I would say, the best Napoli player for the past 2 or 3 seasons.
Well, Mertens
Okay.
is in that
And-
conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
One of,
saying,
yeah, yeah.
especially as a
I thought you were going to
defender.
say one of the top 3 center backs in the world.
For sure.
Was
Nah,
Koulibaly.
not go that far.
He was.
Yeah, he was,
And before this
100%.
year, he was top 3 center backs in the world.
Why don't you take him, Pete? You guys got so much money. Take Koulibaly. You can take anybody. And just give what's
would
his
like
name?
him.
Skriniar. Give Skriniar to make an exchange, an even exchange with Napoli. And give Napoli, an even exchange. Give Napoli $30 million.
That's it.
And Skriniar. Then you
Hey,
take Koulibaly.
we got the directors over
This
here
guy
that are
over here.
making the deal
This
happen.
guy.
Yeah, make a phone call for you.
Thank you.
You should
Antonio.
be getting paid.
You see?
You see?
We're
But
gonna
going back to just if you sell, this is the year to sell Koulibaly. You can't wait another year. That money doesn't
I agree.
show up again. It's up to the project and what you see in it. Do you have someone that's ready to fill in for Koulibaly? What are your aspirations? Are you going to be able to sign 2 or 3 other players to then make a nice team?
You know who could be interesting? The guy from RB Leipzig. Ooh, I'm trying to say his name correctly.
Yeah, he had a great game.
Misano?
He's good.
Upa Mis-
He had a
Anybody know how to
great
say his
game.
name?
You say it. You'd even you have
Upa Misano.
Mecano or Mesano?
Upa
Whatever, why
Mecano?
don't you just
It's
spell
hard.
It, spell
It's
it.
difficult to say. No, spelling won't help you.
Upe
here.
Mecano.
I've done videos talking about him, and I had to.
How do you say
You
it?
listen? No, I had to
You like
literally
Litz-
read
Oh.
off trying to get this right because even when I hear it and stuff, I have
Upa
to.
Misano? I don't know, but he was
Upamecano? I don't know.
He's got a 40 million release clause. So if you could get this guy for 40 million, you sell Koulibaly for 70. You got a young guy that I don't know, maybe. I'm just
I'd
throwing it
say in
out there.
general, if you can get any of the talented young players that represent Leipzig, you should take them. They all have top tier experience in the Bundesliga. They're obviously doing great in the Champions League currently. They're ready for those moments. Tyler Adams, American, just came from New York Red Bulls, scored the winner,
That's wild.
Champions League,
Yeah, that
That's
was
wild.
nice.
quarterfinals.
That was
Also,
nice.
Came off the bench as well.
Can we say-
Ready for the moment.
Congratulations to them. I never expected that. Also,
Yeah.
your boy Simeone, you're a big fan of Simeone.
I am.
You always wanted Simeone. In
That's
my
what it is you
opinion,
want to back you.
his-
Like if he was at a bar with you and you were gonna get into a fight, I was like, I know he's got my back.
but in
Simeone
my,
does
in my,
He'd headbutt you.
But I would take him though. Like even if I was playing for him,
Cholo is top
he's
top
okay.
player.
He's top.
Yeah.
He's the highest paid coach in the world.
world.
And he goes out to Leipzig in the manner that he did, playing this defensive, horrible football with the players that you have, and leaving Joao Felix. In my opinion, Atletico is at such a level with great players. Joao Felix is top players. You can't keep playing this defensive football and leaving the guy on the bench because he doesn't run back. That's my opinion.
they've always been a defensive team
exactly.
first.
But- and they're-
you
they
can't
should
get
be
mad
beyond
now.
that.
Like, oh, well, you
Yes,
play
you
such a
can.
defensive. That's
100%
always
you
how
can.
they play.
Exactly.
You either like
Style.
Atletico's defensive approach or you don't like
Okay,
it. That's
but
always been the bread and butter.
Keeping Joao Felix 126 million on the bench when he is the best player on Atletico Madrid is not smart coaching.
Well, you can't say he's the best. How do you know how good he's playing?
Did you watch the game? The minute that Joao Felix
Okay,
came
but
in,
that's one play. You don't watch Atletico
I didn't watch.
Madrid.
It's not one play. It's one game.
Okay,
In the
it's
most
one
important game of the season, the guy came on and changed the match.
You don't think Simeone knows?
No, I don't think. No. Hold on. I'm going to make my point right now.
Make your
the,
point.
the point is that he doesn't want to put him in because he doesn't run back.
There you
It
go.
was quoted before. He doesn't want to come back and defend.
Oh, he's
A
too good to
player-
play defense, then he's gonna sit on the bench. I
That's-
understand his mentality.
nah.
Think how he plays football. Like
The guy's an attacker. He needs to have the ball at his feet and move up over there. How are you going to tell this guy he has to come back?
But listen to the manager describing. This
Exactly.
is not new. This is
I'm-
the last decade of football. This is what he does.
I'm not saying that he
Everybody
doesn't.
defends
I'm
and
criticizing.
everybody
I'm
attacks.
criticizing Diego Simeone. I'm thinking that he's an overpaid coach for where he's at.
If you
probably
think about it,
overpaid.
What does he want?
Wait, hold
Probably
on.
overpaid
In the
for
last,
sure.
in-
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is it? Last 8 years,
shouldn't be the most
Atletico's
paid.
made the finals twice for Champions League. They won La Liga with a lot less talent.
With a gritty
They're one of the
team.
most
Exactly.
underrated, probably
Okay, fair.
organizations.
But they're beyond
period.
that point. They're beyond that point. They
yeah.
spend too much money to be paying this. Like I was a fan of Atletico when they were a gritty team. They didn't have many superstars. They really fought. But you're past that point. At this point, you can't be playing this negative defensive football with what you have at your disposal.
He wouldn't be the manager then for me. If you want to play,
He
a different
shouldn't be the
style-
manager.
No,
He
but
shouldn't
that's
be the manager
what,
of Atletico.
if you want to play this fluid attacking football,
He's not the
that's
guy.
not him.
Yeah.
So
That's
then
not
why
the
do you
guy.
sign Joao Felix?
Marco,
So
listen
why
to
are you
me.
signing Joao Felix?
That's how they went.
Why are you
through
buying
Liverpool.
126 million to keep him on the bench?
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
You're not listening.
Griezmann, he was offloaded for that particular reason to bring Joao Felix inside.
A younger version of Griezmann.
Younger version. So you bring Joao Felix inside. The guy has to learn at that young age that you are demanded from time to time to play defense. I don't care how good of an offensive player
Nah,
you
it's
are.
a disgrace.
I saw Kaká playing defense. I saw Shevchenko playing defense when you wanted the defense. I saw
Nobody's saying that he
Ronaldo
doesn't
playing
play
defense.
defense.
I saw Dybala play defense. I saw Higuain.
Nah.
I saw just about
It's-
all the best players. Lewandowski plays defense.
What this
You're
is
nobody right now. You're still that young. You haven't shown anything. You haven't won anything.
No.
So at that age, all
It's
you have
not
to do,
correct.
listen, and Simeone is worth all the money that he's getting.
He's not worth half
he's
of what
one
he
of the
gets.
top
That's a
three
lot of
coaches on the
money.
world.
He's,
That's
he's
a
not
lot
the
of
top
money.
three coaches. He's not worth half he gets, and you're wrong about that because it's just like Ericsson with Conte. The guy's mad that Ericsson's not intense.
You only
the guy's
wish you
a
had him at
talent.
Juventus, not instead of Sarri.
Simeone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, if you're comparing to Sadi, that's fine. That's one thing. But
Simeone makes a lot of money.
If
too.
you're,
He
if
shouldn't
you're a
be the most
fan
paid.
of defense first and controlling a game, I mean, one of the best managers.
Well,
without
that's
a
how they
doubt.
went to
That's fine.
Liverpool.
They've
That's
done-
how they went
he's-
past
he's
Liverpool.
robbing
They've
Atletico
done-
Madrid
but they've
with how
done
much he makes.
so much. Well, they've done so much with such a suspect team. It's
Exactly.
like he
And-
earned.
and now you're past that point.
But yeah, but he earned the increase of salary based on your previous
He makes
accolades.
he
It
made
was just like
almost
Jose
40
Mourinho's
million.
going to get paid the money because of what he's already accomplished, not because of what he's
He makes
going to
more than
accomplish.
Ronaldo.
He made
Mourinho on the equation.
he made
because
almost
Mourinho's
40
an
million
idiot.
last year from that's his salary.
40 million.
40 million.
More than
he was a
Ronaldo.
top paid
Really?
coach in the
40
world.
million?
Now do you understand what I'm saying?
That's a lot of money.
That's
Yeah, that is
ridiculous.
a lot
And I
of
heard
money.
that it's because he gets a percentage of sale on some of the players
No,
that he
that
has.
means, no, that's great. That's a great write up for him then. He put that into the contract. That's
That's
a good
what- no.
business move.
Oh,
That's not a salary
I'm not
then to
arguing
him.
that.
He's getting a cutback on royalties.
I'm not
based on
arguing.
decision making.
All I'm saying is that
I
he's
like that's okay. I like that. That's cool.
as a business, fine. All I'm saying is that he's overpaid for what he brings to the table.
But he's not even. But depends what percentage
I
is
don't
he getting
know.
off of, because if he's getting a large portion of this 40 million from his decision making about talent that's up and coming and guys that are going on their way out, and he gets a direct benefit. They made that deal with him. They signed that contract, and they got to abide by
fine.
that for the time.
if I was Inter, I would.
It was
yeah,
like
he's
around the
100,
same-
115.
Yeah.
It's literally a swap. It's a
Yeah,
swap on
yeah,
that.
pretty
Okay.
much.
Either way, we're gonna move to the audio only. We'll take a couple questions from our fans. Mike, you're gonna stay with us, but we're gonna go straight to audio only. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, head there now. We're gonna answer your questions, and I know we got a couple specific for you, Mike. I was looking over them. All right, audio on
Okay,
time.
yeah. So the first one comes from Forza Azzurri. He said, if Juve had to do a rebuild, tell me the players